Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about how you could have made 1,200% of your money today. An STX bottom entry, or game plan in Forex, how to call bottoms in real time yourself, our full stock analysis. I am Mark Melnick. This is the Newsbeat Show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Newsbeat Show. In case you haven't heard, there was a headline today that came out that Sprint and T-Mobile have rekindled merger talks. Just as we were talking recently, like yesterday on the Newsbeat Show, that we should be seeing more merger and acquisition today. A lot of analysts crawled under the rocks, and it was actually a good day. Even though there wasn't a lot of trades, I felt there were enough trades where it was easily capitalizable in this market. Now, yesterday I was discussing with you the importance of interpretation of news flow and why that is the ultimate risk reward. It's kind of hilarious that in every risk management course that I see around Wall Street, they don't talk about options. They don't talk about options. So 2 years ago, I was invited to one of these big Wall Street firms, multi-billion-dollar Wall Street firms. I don't want to name drop. And they literally asked me to do a risk management class. And I, of course, said, well, what do you mean? Like, I don't really give classes just on risk management. I probably could. Why? Because they basically said, well, we see what you're doing here. You're not losing money. You're making way more when you're right than when you're wrong. And we want to teach some of our traders here, and they'll pay me. They'll pay me money. And I was talking to them, obviously, about options, and I was basically saying, well, the funny thing is, you guys wouldn't even believe the type of option knowledge I have to produce these results. Like, what do you mean? I mean, like, basically I'm just buying calls and then just buying puts when I think when the stock's going to go down, and then I just sell them if they're up money. Or if the worst case scenario, I hold them and they expire worthless. And that's, for the most part, what I do with options. I don't know my Greeks, I don't know this, I don't know that. Yeah, every single course, every single person that talks about risk management are rarely qualified to be giving advice to others. Not that they're not good at managing risk themselves, but they're not taking into account that we have a crazy guy over in Brooklyn who is just psychotic and doesn't understand the way to take a stop loss. Then you have another person from Ohio who's just, in the middle of a rough situation. Maybe he got into a fight with someone in his family that day, and their mind isn't in the game, and they're very easily to break a rule and make a mistake. You see, risk management is not about telling you the right thing to do, ladies and gentlemen. Risk management is about giving you the things to do to protect you from yourself. These things are in place to help you in the worst case scenario. A meteor hits your house and your electric goes out and you escape with everyone. Are you going to blow up your account at that point because you weren't in front of your computer and you were in a trade? That's the beautiful thing about options. So here at the Newsbeat Live Room, we'll talk about that momentarily, but here was a name today, Sprint, merging with T-Mobile. And we go through tens of thousands of these news headlines, and if you ask anybody who is in the Newsbeat Live Room, I'm rarely talking. The fact is, the funny thing is, like, I haven't really said much for the past hour and a half prior to this news story coming out. And I come in, I tell you guys I'm watching, they halted Sprint. I looked at next week's calls. I looked at literally next week's $6 calls. They were 3 by 4 cents. 3 by 4 cents. And I was like, huh? I tried buying them and I missed them. So I'm literally on the broadcast. All right, guys. Oh, these are 3 by 4 cents, guys. I'm going to try buying these. I missed them. Let's go look at next week's calls. Look at next week's calls. They're 11 cents. Okay, guys, I'm buying here at 11 cents. That's how it sounds like. So here at the Newsbeat Live Room, it's not about being a broken record and just spewing out all the garbage we can. Quite the contrary, we're looking for that needle in the haystack. And we literally bought 11-cent Sprint calls. Somebody in the room, by the way, when I called out those 4-cent calls, emailed me, showed me a screenshot. Somebody in the room actually caught those 4-cent calls. They ended up selling at 30 cents, and I was like, hey man, you made over 700% of your money. Who's better than you? Because he sold from 4 to 30. So me, I actually did not make 1,200%. But the option that I was saying to buy at 4 cents actually went up about 1,200%. Me personally, I bought 11-cent calls and literally sold out at the dead high where Sprint was trading at the dead high. Not the dead high of the options. The options actually printed 70 cents, like one bad print, but they legitimately printed 50 cents. I made 5 times my money. My options moved pretty much 500% in a matter of 7 minutes. Does this sound crazy? What were you risking if you bought it there? Let's say you risk $500 a trade and you bought those options at 11 cents. Let's say you got 50 of them and they went from 11 cents to 50 cents. You made about 40 cents? You made about 40 cents? Wouldn't that be a nice trade? Wouldn't it be nice to make a quick couple grand in net profits? To have your position go from $500 to $2,500? The worst case scenario, you're losing $500, and these calls expired next week. And you have this name which is massively volatile, and it was that type of quick interpretation which allows people in the Newsbeat Live Room to capitalize on this. And this was when I say 1,200% in 7 minutes of trading, it's because the stock actually got halted. And I didn't count the 5-minute circuit breaker halt. If you want to include that, you could actually say 12 minutes. But it was 7 minutes of actually open trading. And you know how much pain we were in that position? How much do you think I was down when I bought that position instantly? I wasn't. I was up money right away. And I keep telling you guys this, and I'm going to show you tonight how to choose the bottoms in stocks. Buying Sprint here was not buying a bottom. Buying Sprint and chasing it through that high was an intelligent move at that one unique scenario based on the volatility and based on the risk reward involved. And that's how we did it. And that's how we did it. And that's how so many of us capitalized. There was a little less heart pumping, adrenaline rushing name today, and that was STX. And this was one of the few stocks I called this morning. It was the only stock I called this morning. And let me show you. Actually, I'm going to pull up the 1-minute chart in which I used to watch STX today. And what happened was literally this. Now, how important would it be for you in real time if somebody came to you and said, I'm buying STX? Not just somebody who you know makes money in the market, somebody who's very consistent, somebody who tells you in the pre-market. I literally was telling, our room here in the pre-market of my favorite name. I mean, literally, if you want to know what it looks like in the pre-market, it looks a little like that. We talk about our morning game plan from this morning, and you literally, it's like I like this one. It literally looks like that. This is in the pre-market. Then the market opens, and we're literally saying in real time, after knowing that it's on our game plan, that we're buying here. Now, this was a 1-minute chart. Let me just show you the 5. And what happened was we bought in here. The market was going down. So I have to remind you, this is a 5-minute of the triple Qs. You watch the spiders? No problem. Here's a 5 minutes of the spiders early. We were falling. But look at STX. It was holding up. That is the power of understanding a good news play. You're not getting crushed when the market goes against you, and you're doing better when the market goes with you. You want to know how to be a consistent trader? All you have to do is a lot of times take exactly the same things you're doing and add it with good news flow. So check this out. We bought. I basically told you guys if we're going to break 60.19 here that I'm adding in. I told you guys ahead of time. Well, if you're listening on Facebook and you're not part of the room, or you're listening on YouTube, I mean, obviously you didn't hear it, but it was this morning at 9:45. I'm like, I'm adding in more. And then the stock rallied. And our options had a nice pop. They didn't go through the ceiling. They went up 35, 40% in terms of next week's expiration. It actually went up more if you bought this week's expiration. I bought next week's. And then you know what happened right around here? I said, okay, guys, I'm done trading XTX for the day. I'm out. And I exited the last of my position. Flush. And I ask you guys, really, how important is that to you as a trader to hear something like that? You guys watch this Newsbeat show all the time. You know, members of the room, you guys see it in real time, obviously, but I'm more talking to you Facebook and YouTube watchers who enjoy the show. Like, this is what we're doing every day. You wonder why we produce the most consistent traders out there? You wonder why I have the most consistent track record in our firm? You want to know why I have the most consistent track record in every other firm that I walk into? Because I do this. Because I combine news flow with technical analysis. That's what I do. I build the bridge. There's an island called news flow, there's an island called technical analysis, and there's a bridge connecting them. And that's the Newsbeat live room. That is the bridge that connects the two together. That's how we make money every day. That's why there's somebody in the room, I won't say his name, but was it 21 days in a row you're green since you signed up, since the open house? It's been a real chop fest of a market too. I've been doing pretty well. Not crazy, nothing great, but I've been making money consistently, happily. And that's very important in this market because it's making money. But I want to show you something even more important. How? Why? Why am I calling this out? We'll get to our game plan in Forex in a moment. How do you call bottoms in real time yourself? I don't really... It doesn't matter what anyone tells you out there. It doesn't matter what technical theory people show you. It doesn't matter what candlestick formations they show you that they like. It doesn't matter what technical parameters they show you what they like. It doesn't matter if I show you what I like, even though that's exactly what I'm going to do. It doesn't matter what form of technical analysis you use. You have to ask yourself this question. You want to know if your technical analysis is effective? I know there's going to be a lot of egos here who are going to be like, oh my God, this is the greatest. Okay, maybe it is. I'm not doubting it. I'm not saying mine is the greatest. I'm just asking you one simple question. Does your technical analysis allow you to buy at the bottoms or sell at the tops? Does your technical analysis allow that? It's a simple question. How many of you guys here, when you buy something, your P&L is red? I was like that for 10, 12 years. Something had to change. Right now, my P&L is almost always green as soon as I enter a position. I enter a position, I'm up money right away. Almost always. Over 90% of the time. Isn't that incredible? When I say almost always, I'm talking within 5, 10, 15 seconds like your P&L's up. You're not going through psychological pain. I'm not talking a stock goes from $50 to $49. You bought $49. It drops to $48.97 and then it bounces to $49.50. I don't consider that being down money. I'm talking literally within seconds or immediately. Within seconds, you're up money right away. How many people out there can say that? If you cannot do this in this algorithmic market, you are probably a struggling trader. There. I'm not saying you didn't make millions 20 years ago when the market was crazy. I'm not saying 2008 you weren't shorting everything and making a lot of money. I'm not saying these things. I'm saying today, 2018. I'm not saying you're not an experienced trader. There are traders who suffer from this who have been trading 50, 60 years. In our room, too. We have 80-year-olds in our room. It's crazy. We have hedge fund managers. We have kids. You know, there's a 14-year-old in our room. She doesn't type, though. There's a 14-year-old girl who trades and makes money in our room. If your technical analysis to choose the bottom of a name, you have to fully understand an algorithm. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. You have to fully understand the most likely scenario a robot is going to do before they buy something. I actually bought Netflix today. I did. That was another one of my trades that I did. I bought Netflix today. I'm going to show you a 15-minute chart of Netflix today. Where do you think I bought Netflix options today? Where do you think I bought it? Here's the open right here. Here's the open right here. Here's, 9:45. It's a 15-minute chart. Here's 9:45. Where do you think I bought Netflix today? And what do you think I was saying when I bought it in real time in our room? Right around here. Right around there. Maybe when it was 293.60, 293.70. It hit a day low of 293. No, actually, sorry. I bought below there. I was looking at the wrong line. Right over here. Right at the bottom of the bar. I was actually the day low print on the calls. I was the day low print on the 292.5 calls. Right over there I bought. Right over there. And you know what I said after it bounced 50, 60, 70 cents from where I bought it? I said, guys, I'm not sure. I might be right. I might be wrong. There's a good chance Netflix bottomed for the day right now. Right over there. Like magic. And a lot of you actually were smarter than me. I chucked it when it broke through 293. I made a quick chop. I made a quick dollar on my options, and I chucked it. And you know what happened? The stock kept going up, and I could have literally made $3, $4, $5 on my options. My options more than doubled at that point. I could have made way more money had I held it. I didn't in that scenario. You think I'm going to cry myself to sleep? Do you think I'm going to sit up at night saying, wow, I made a dollar when I could have made $5? You think that bothers me at all? Doesn't. And it wouldn't bother you at all. In this market environment, and by the way, when I do this Newsbeat show, I'm doing it in front of all the members of my room. This is not fabricated BS. This is not me looking at the market saying, well, you could have done this over here, and you could have bought through here, and you could have rode it here. No, I'm telling you things we actually did and traded in real time. We're calling bottoms in real time. I know you hear this a lot. I know it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny to hear somebody talk like this constantly. My course, I am going to teach you, ladies and gentlemen, how I do this. Companies, tier 1 firms have hired me to design algorithmic programs. I'm not a coder. I can't write a line of code. But my strategies, I work with people who can code to design some of the top trading strategies that Wall Street still uses today. Do you think I have an edge? Knowing, I don't want to drop names, but you think I have an edge knowing what some of these top tier firms, I'll just mention some top tier firms like Merrill, Goldman, Morgan Stanley. That's just a few. There are more. Do you think you have an edge if you know what some of these firms, where some of their algorithms are buying and selling stock? Do you think that gives you an edge to know that information? Do you think it would give you an edge if you designed some of those strategies? Not all of them. In fact, a vast minority of them. But do you think you would have some form of an edge if you did that? I'm going to show you what I helped them program. I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to show you how to buy the bottom of your name consistently. Not 100% of the time, not 40% of the time, 70% of the time, or better. I'm going to show you how to buy bottoms consistently. How valuable would that be for you as a trader? Would you consider that to be life altering, career altering, life changing? We do so much for the Garden of Dreams Foundation. It's people like you in the room who make everything I do on an intraday, day in and day out basis worth it. Did I mention 100% of the proceeds of the course that all you guys signed up for? We have hundreds of sign-ups already. We didn't start the marketing yet. All that money is going to go for great causes. You could be proud of what's happening with what you are doing. And you know how many of you guys stepped up to the plate and reached out to me and said, Mark, I want to give to the Garden of Dreams Foundation. What can I do? You know how many emails you know what that does? I was sitting there with my wife on the couch, and my son fell asleep, and I was just reading those emails with her, and like we were reading those emails last night, and she literally had a few tears running down her eyes. She wasn't crying, but she was like tearing up, and I basically said, can you believe what some of the members of our room are actually doing? And she gave me this, I mean, I'm this like huge goofy giant. I'm like this 6'4" like dude, and she's like this little 5'1" thing, and she, I swear, she hugged me so hard at that point. I thought I was like, I almost couldn't breathe. I was like tapping out like in jiu-jitsu. I was like, sweetheart, that's you win this round. And she gave me a huge hug because she saw what some of the things of what you can actually accomplish when you genuinely help traders, when you genuinely help people get to that next level in the market. You know how many emails I have? Countless emails from people who are struggling and struggling and struggling, and then they learn something and they just turn around, they start making $200, $100, $300, $200, $500 a day, but they're doing it, they're making money 3 out of 4 days, and they're doing it pretty damn consistently, and it's just life-changing. And do you realize how many things people have sent me? Cookies, jams, all these thank you cards, and I save them all. I save them all because that's where I derive the energy to do what I do. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I'm a broadcaster here at T3. Just for that. Just for that. Just for all those moments I just described. But let me tell you what I'm going to do for you. I know the majority of you are signed up, but I still want to tell you what I'm going to do for you anyway. I'm going to teach you how to buy on the bottoms of stocks in this current market environment. This training course is 95, 96, 97% done. I actually didn't finish it. It's a brand new course. It's brand new, and it has 12 years of culminated information that I created and wrote from my books. I culminate these sources on the internet, a lot of scientific studies you could find for free on the internet. I culminated all these things, put them together into just something incredible. There's a lot of theories which are, of course, my own. I have everything from obviously technical analysis, fundamental analysis for swinging, how to literally improve your brain to make you. I am literally, when you're done with this course and you follow the things in this course, you're going to score higher on an IQ test. I know, you're not here to boast about how smart you are, because you're not a jerk, but you literally will become a more intelligent human being. I mean, like, literally. Outside of the information I teach you and show you, you are literally going to become smarter. You are literally going to become healthier. I humbly believe you are literally going to live longer. This is not just a course of teaching you how to buy bottoms in the market. That's going to be what you're taught, and the way you're going to do it consistently is based on everything else I show you. This is the most unique, comprehensive course in existence. 100% of the proceeds that I make off this course will go for good causes. You have to be part of this course. It is life-changing as a trader and as a human being, not just as a trader, and as a human being. Make sure after tomorrow, coming like Thursday forward, you may or may not get live access to the class. People who are signed up already, you are guaranteed live access. The reason why we had to do this is because we cannot host, at this point we're looking probably 700-800 people. We cannot do 700-800 people in a class. It is impossible. I will not be able to answer everyone's question in a time-like fashion. So whether you could attend or not, take advantage of the discount. $495. That's less than the $1,000 that T3 is planning on charging in the future for this exact same course. Pay $495, become a better trader, make tons of more money in the market, and do something good for the world and good for yourself and good for the people around you. Because that, ladies and gentlemen, that's what a course was always meant to do. That's what a course was always meant to do. It's supposed to be life-changing. It's not supposed to be about people in different situations throwing you in a weird mix, hoping that you figure everything else on the side out by yourself. Some people need more structure than others. Other people figure it out real easily. Me, I'm one of those people when I was growing up that I never was able to catch a hint. I would be that guy who, was always trying to figure out why something was happening until I just realized, oh, maybe that person doesn't want to do this or doesn't want to do that, and I didn't know until they literally spelled it out. Because I took things so literally. So for someone like me, if you're as dense-headed as I am, this course is perfect for you. The description's in the link. I know most of you are already in, but I just wanted to tell you more of what's to come. So now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go into just some of the game plan names for tomorrow. We're going to start off with SPPI, which was Spectrum Pharma. I was looking at this one for an overnight today, and I actually didn't take it because the options were kind of funky. But this one actually ended up gapping up beautifully after hours to 21.93. In hindsight, I wish I took, a few thousand shares, but looking at it now, you could use certain triggers like 2208 and 2254 and 2305, and this was just one of those extremely powerful names here today, getting some follow through. And of course, last but not least, I'm giving you a little sub-dollar name that we called out at, I forgot, 30.362, whatever I paid for it. And the stock right now is, again, nothing to go crazy about, but it's trading at 38 cents. It's up a couple cents or 5-6% with a little crapper name like this. And we'll see if it could gap up further tomorrow. Just beautiful gold name with just some beautiful volume. Let's see if it could break 40 cents tomorrow. Again, nothing I go crazy over. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, right now we're going to go into our Forex. Wait, I didn't give you guys my Forex. I have a ton of Forex trades. Isn't it funny? As the market gets easier and better to trade today, all of a sudden, I have a lot more Forex names. Check that out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 new orders. It comes out looking like this because I literally give you a screenshot from my live software, and these are literally my live open orders. They happen to be 9 buy orders right here, as you see. You get the type, buy orders, you get my size, you get the symbol pairing in which I'm buying. I give you the exact price of where I'm trying to buy these things across the board. I give you the exact price of where I set my stop loss across the board. I give you the exact price of where my take profit level is if I get filled and it ends up being correct. You get everything. Full transparency, full disclosure. I do make money consistently on a yearly basis trading Forex. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we go into our full stock analysis now. That is for Newsbeat Live members only. Again, if you are interested in the class and you want to change your life as a trader, yes, I'm biased, but you have to be financially insane to not take this class. Whether you're making money, whether you're trying to make money, whether you're making $1 million, whether you're making $100,000 and you wanted to make $1 million when you first started trading, or whether you wanted to make $2, $3, $4, $500 a day when you first started, and you just can't seem to find that consistency. This class is for you, ladies and gentlemen. This class is going to bring you to the next level. I'm living proof. I did these things to get to the next level of trading. I was that trader making 2, 300,000 who really needed help to make $1 million. Now I'm doing back-to-back years of $1 million, $1 million, $1 million plus, because I follow the things here in this course, and this is exactly how I trade. This is exactly what I do, and it is up to you. I will pave this path for you, ladies and gentlemen, but at the end of the day, it's going to be up to you to walk down it. I am so excited to do this class. We are the fastest growing trading room in the nation. Is it a surprise when you could call the bottom of all these names? Happy trading, make money. We will see you guys tomorrow on the Newsbeat live trading broadcast. Have a wonderful evening.